is a fitness business coach and has 11 years of experience, high-level experience in gym development, as well as digital product development. He now mentors many people to add streams of income in the digital fitness space. And we're going to be focusing today on 3 things you must have to guarantee your success online. So I want to make our interview, Sean, really actionable for our viewers. So they've literally got really 3 super crystal clear things to very much take away. If you've got any questions as Sean and I are chatting that you want to put in the chat box, please do, and we will make sure we get them answered. So Sean, what would be the number 1 key thing that you start with to guarantee your success online?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one thing I will say is I worked with the fitness industry. I work with gym owners, fitness professionals, but my wife has a online telemedicine practice. She specializes in hormone therapy. And I will tell you this, these 3 things apply to any industry that you want to work with, especially if you want to succeed online. Having the opportunity to look at, hundreds of, especially in the fitness industry business, I wanted to find out, how come some people make this work and some people don't? Like, what are the key ingredients? And so the more I just kind of overanalyzed all of these successful online business, I found these 3 keys have kind of been a common factor among all of them. So I want to give you those 3 things and then also give you some tangible steps, like Katie said, to how you can start getting those 3 things, because they might seem kind of obvious, and they will take a little bit of work to do. I will tell you, this is not a magic pill moment. You're not going to take these 3 things. Yeah, you're not going to take these like, oh, I get to check these 3 boxes and now I'm going to be a millionaire.
Or it'll be like, Sean told me this and it doesn't work, and I'm going to come back to it because I've done it in 24 hours and I've got no results.
That's Sean, guys. That stupid yellow helmet in the background. I never trusted him anyway. No, so here it is, guys. The 3 things that I'll tell you this, because I say it's a guarantee. I personally have never found a business that has these 3 things in place that is not making at least $500,000 a year online. So I'll say that's my disclaimer with this. So going through those 3 things, here we go. Number 1 is they are really good at long form content. So long form content does not mean they have a large social media following. Long form content means that you're actually a true expert at something and you have the ability to speak and communicate on it for a long period of time. So we live in a very Insta-famous world, right? Where people can get really good at snapping the perfect picture and creating this awesome caption for an Instagram post or something like that. But having that large Instagram following and being really good at a certain platform doesn't mean that you're going to guarantee your success. Having a long form content strategy, what that means is you've got something like a podcast to where you're able to speak and communicate on your subject for long periods of times, interview other thought leaders and experts in your niche. You've got something like a large long form content library, something like a YouTube channel where you're able to communicate and keep somebody captive for a long period of time. It's not just that quick pick that you're doing, but you're able to communicate on it for a long period of time. 3rd thing would be something like live videos. If you do lots of live videos, right? You cannot fake live. This cannot be faked right now. I cannot have this pre-recorded. This is me sharing my passion about what I do and it comes across. And so having that as that video platform is huge. And so maybe you say to yourself like, Sean, I don't like being on camera. It's so weird. I feel uncomfortable. That's fine. There is another long form content that you can do that doesn't require that. I will say it's not as effective and it does take longer to grow, but being a really great writer and having a successful blog that people are coming to, that's still a long form content, because if you're able to write these long, captivating blog posts that's driving people to your website to talk about your product or your service, that means you're actually an expert on this thing and you're solving problems for people and you know how to talk about it and keep people engaged on it for long periods of time. So that's number 1 is long form content.
Can I just ask something on your experience, Sean? Long writing like blogs. I know from my research with my community that, and from my experience when I read long information, so if I see a long email sent to me or I see a long blog post, I get glazed over. I think that's way too long. I'll read it later and then I never get round to it. So I found short and sharp copy is far better. And I use that across all my platforms because it actually gets the most feedback and the most open rates. And I know, so what's your view on short copy to long copy?
Yeah, so great question to give you more in depth in that. So whenever, first of all, for emails, like if you guys follow me on my email list, my emails are typically like 5 sentences. It's like, here's 5 quick little points, watch this YouTube video, because I'm a video communicator. I love this right here. I love being on camera and I love communicating about what I do, because I think I've got a lot of energy and it's really hard to get that to come across on text. So I want to make sure that people are, same. So I want to make sure people are coming and watching my video content. So my emails personally are really, really short, so I can get them to go to the long form content video of me speaking. So I don't like long form content. And especially when it comes to, like you said, emails, blog post, I guess there's kind of a distinguisher between what qualifies for long form. For me, if it's over 5 sentences, it's long form blogs, because I don't like to write. But yeah, you do not want to have huge run-ons on text. But it also, depends on how good the information is. There's a YouTuber that I love. His name's Sean Cannell. And one thing that he always says is, with your content, make it as short as possible, but as long as it needs to be. So you don't want to just have this.
Say that again. I'm just going to write that down. Say that again.
This has to do with anything, your blog post, video content, or anything. Make it as short as possible, but as long as it needs to be. So whenever you're writing, doing video content or anything, use that as your framework for how long because I get that question all the time. Well, how long should my YouTube video be? Or how long should I speak on this topic? Or how long should this email be? Should be as short as possible, but as long as it needs to be. So what that means is, you don't want to have a long series of text where you're just rambling, or a long video where you're just rambling about the same thing over and over and over. You want to be able to get straight to the point, because we're a busy society. People want to get the information and they want to get out. So you want to make sure you give them the information that you promised to give them, get in, and then get out. So that could be, anywhere from a couple of paragraphs to several pages, depending on the content. Whenever you are having big streams of text, though, guys, break it up. You don't want huge blocks of text. Use bullet points, use images to break it up. Make your text where it's really, really easy to scan and read and scan. So then that way, if there's something that's really, really intriguing, they'll go back and actually read it.
Really great, Sean. And do you know what, in terms of video length as well, there's a reason we do 20-minute interviews on these shows, because I've tried and tested this, and we used to do I've done hour ones, I've done 45 minutes, I've done 50 minutes, I've done 35, I've done 30 minutes. 20 minutes is the magic number, because like you said, we want actionable tips. We want to take something tangible. You don't want a long list of 200 points that I'm now going to implement this week, because you're not going to do any of them. So the same applies to video as well. Short, sharp, and to the point. I think that is so important, Sean. So number 1 is long form content. What is number 2?
Number two is have lots of specific video testimonials. So there's several, the thing that I kind of cringe at a little bit whenever I see on sales pages, when I see like the text messaging screenshots of testimonials. I'll be honest, guys, those are really easy to fake. And if that's what people's success stories are, or screenshots of those texts, maybe this is me being a little negative Nancy here, but I think, okay, if I really got good results for somebody, I should be able to ask them for some type of authentic, real, specific testimonial, even if it's an email, because those text messaging things, they could be sent from a friend. Like there's no proof behind it or authenticity behind it. Video testimonials are huge. If you find somebody that has lots of video testimonials on their site, I guarantee you they are doing very well. But more so, it's not just about the quantity, but it's about the quality. What you want with your video testimonials is you want very specific testimonials, because when somebody is coming to your website and they see those, they are looking for somebody that resonates with them. It doesn't matter how many you have on your site. They're looking for the person that they think looks and acts and has the same demographics as them, because I want to make sure, can you actually solve the problem for me? Like, I understand, like maybe you've done it for other people, but you don't know me. I'm different. I'm special. Like They want to be able to see somebody just like them in those testimonials. And with them, you want them to be specific. So whenever there's this whole formula that we list of questions that we send our clients to capture these testimonials, you don't want a general testimonial. You want specific. So I don't want anybody to say on the testimonial, Dave was a really good trainer. Like, that's nice. But what I would rather hear is Dave helped me lose 12 pounds in 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's very specific and actionable to prove you got a real result. Like, that's great. You're a nice person, but can you get results for people? That's what you need to be able to show with on these video testimonials, that you get real results for real people, just like them, just like the people you're trying to attract. And it's been specific towards a certain goal. So that's the second one, is you've got lots of video testimonials. If you guys are, so I told you I'd give you some things to take away on that one. If you guys are not asking, this is my other quote: you have not because you ask not. You probably don't have video testimonials right now because you don't have a system or process in place to ask your clients or former clients, potential clients, for those things. Mm-hmm. You have to, very rarely is a client just out of the blue going to send you an awesome video talking about how you changed their life. You have to ask for those things. You have to instruct them, especially it's a little bit easier for me because I'm working with fitness professionals that have an online business. So they're used to speaking on camera and creating content. But if that's not your niche or what you do, and you're working with some gen pop people that they're not used to posting on camera or content and being on camera all day, you're going to have to ask, you're going to have to coach them through that. So you have not because you ask not. You need to have a system in place to where you are regularly asking your clients for amazing specific video testimonials for yourself.
And I've just written a reminder for myself there, because I have loads of testimonials. I have a few on video, but I'm never intentional. I always ask. We have a great system to ask for testimonials, but I haven't clearly put video, please.
Video
so I'm going to emphasize that. I'm going to be on the phone and say, and also, I also think if it's specific and they're brand new entrepreneur and really scared of doing video, again, let's get going. Let's bring that skill. Let's work on that skill. And that's the first step as well, because you need to learn to love video because it's part of the world we live in.
Absolutely. So 2 things on that. One is the importance of also having that video testimonial is you as the business owner, that content can be repurposed into a dozen different ways. You can post the full length of the testimonial on YouTube. You could take, a 15-second sound bite and you could put that on your Instagram story. You could take like the best highlights of, say, the 5-minute conversation, turn that into like a 30 or 60-second Instagram post. You could take one really good quote that they said. You could throw it in a service like Canva and create a little quote card of it that's shareable. So you can take one testimonial and repurpose that into multiple different pieces of content. Mm-hmm. So the second thing with that is you talked about video. Going back to the first point, because I didn't give you something to take away for that. Because the biggest thing I hear with the long form content, not wanting to do that, is I don't feel comfortable on camera. The easiest way to get better at it is to just do it. And so if you're super self-conscious about being on camera, what I found actually helps the clients that I work with is doing live videos, especially on something like Instagram Live, because one, you can delete it instantly or you can keep it. And at most it stays up for 24 hours. So if you're uncomfortable about being on camera, turn on your camera on and just start talking about something. Good starting points are write down a list of commonly asked questions, like 12 FAQs that your clients always have, or 12 quick tips, things that would instantly add value to the people you're trying to attract, and just get on the camera and talk. You might not have anybody show up, but that's okay, because then you don't have to worry if you messed up or not. But the more you do this and talk on camera, you're going to get more comfortable on it. And you're not going to get more comfortable talking on camera by reading a book about it. You're going to have to get out there and do it. You're going to have to start talking. You're not going to read the perfect blog post. You're like, yes, now I feel so much more confident on camera. No, you're going to have to do this. It's going to be really bad, but it's going to get better as long as you commit to it and stick with the process. So that's my big actionable item with that is you've got to start taking action and start creating this long form content. Don't worry if nobody's watching. They eventually will. If you are consistent with your message, you show up every day and you're adding value to people. Second one, the success stories, you got to ask for people. You got to get those video testimonials. To get number 2. Number 3, are you ready for this?
And do you know what, Sean, just to check on the amount of time, especially in the early days, I did webinars, I did Facebook Lives, I was talking to myself. I enjoyed my company loads. No one showed up. I thought I was great. I gave myself a 10 out of 10. I even practiced being streaming over there to the US. You know what I mean? I went for it. And then before you know it, one person showed up. I was like, oh, I've got a friend. Wicked. They got wicked attention on that webinar. And then before you know it, it's 10, then it's 20, then it's 30, and it's, Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, do not worry. If you're talking to yourself for a couple of months, do not worry. It's all good practice.
I love that. I full disclosure, I did the same thing too for the longest time. I'd be like, "Oh, Dave, great question." So Dave just asked a great question, and you just whoever Dave is, like, thanks a lot.
Or you can say, Sean, Dave, I'm sending you my free book. It's coming right at you. It'll be in the post on Monday.
Dave is actually Dave, because that was such a great. I'm going to give you a free month of consulting on me because I love the value of that. Yeah. We can do it. Why not?
Love it. But it's all fun. It's just, and that's practice of being you and your personality on camera. So amazing. So number 3, Sean.
Number 3, this is the one that I will tell you takes the most time. And Katie and I kind of not directly talked about it, but I know that this is important for her and everybody that's this event as well, is they have a large list of customers they own. And this is what I mean. They don't have a large social media following, but they have a large customer list they own. What that means they have a large email list or text messaging list. I will tell you guys this, full disclosure, social media following does not equate success, especially in the online world. Just because you see I work in the fitness industry. There's fitness people and professionals and trainers that have millions of followers on Instagram. And I know this because they hire me to fix their business. They're making like $500 to $1,000 a month with millions of followers. And I see so many people, they get like stuck in this trap of wanting to grow their social media following because they think like, oh, well, that's the reason why it's not working is if I had a big enough social media following, then I would be successful. No, that is not a true indicator of success. That means you figured out an algorithm on a single individual platform and not necessarily adding value and created like a true brand. What you want to do is have a large customer list that you own. So I'm a big fan of, just personally, because I've done it, is with email. So in order, the steps that you have to take in order to grow an email list means that you're adding value to somebody. And so you've given them something in exchange for value, to where it's some type of lead generator or opt-in. You're putting out fresh new content. Like we talked about, that long form content where people want to sign up so they get insider access to that. And if you know how to do those things, that means you've got some pretty good foundational sense of what it is to add value, to build a community, and to serve others enough to where they do want to exchange their email address. Think about yourself. There's probably loads of people that you follow on social media content that you've never bought anything from, and you never probably will, because, just being honest, you just want to spy on them and just seeing what their life is like. But right, it's the Instagram stalking. We know you're doing it. But there is very few people that you have signed up for their email list that you're not at least interested in going deeper in that relationship with them or learning more information. And then it's up to them, obviously, on the reciprocating end of that email list to make sure they're serving and adding value so that you do go up further within their value ladder with them.
And just to share on that, Sean, because that is like one of the most important nuggets. One of the prerequisites that I look for influencers to come on this show is your email list. So I'd rather someone who has, say, 3,000 people on their email list to someone who has 100,000 plus on social media, because I know they are true and authentic and have a truly engaged audience that would like to come and be a guest on, and come and tune in to the show. And I share that because so many times I get asked that question. I've got a really good podcast following, and isn't that good enough, Katie? Please, can I? And I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm really strict on this, because I've seen where the success and where, the ideal client that we want to come on the show is. And also just think, just like Sean just said, you don't own social media, you own your email list. Social media, and I've seen this, and I'm sure Sean and all of our influencers have seen this many times over. I've seen people with big fat followings lose their business overnight, where they spent hours creating content, hours of time on it, and their business is gone zero because it's all on there. So you've got to start building that email list, build Instagram and all that, but get them onto an email list. Everything should be directed to that.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing that I always kind of relate it to is something like Instagram or a social media following. That is good, but that's kind of the equivalent of having a billboard out on the side of the road. So you are not in control of when they're going to drive by, what they're doing. Are they texting whenever they're driving by the sign? Are they're having a conversation with somebody next to them because there's so much going on? It's out there and you don't control. An email list is like a door-to-door salesman. You get to know and control exactly when you go to that person's house, when you knock, and when you deliver the thing to them. So that's why it's so important to be in control of your customer list by having an email list, having a text messaging list that you can actually communicate to your clients or potential clients when you want to. You don't have to worry about when an algorithm is going to show them. Did they log into social media that day? What other things were going on in their life? You can show up directly to their inbox or directly to their mobile device when you want to.
Absolutely. And do you remember, I don't know when this happened because COVID has just made time warp in a weird and wonderful way. Do you remember when Instagram, you couldn't get on it for like 2 days? It was like a blackout. And like, I don't know what they called it, but do you remember? Was that a year ago? Or was that more? Do you remember?
I want to say, I want to say that it was right. I thought that it was somewhere right at the peak or right whenever like the first month of lockdowns and stuff, because everybody was freaking out because they were all at home on Instagram and then social media. Like, oh man, I'm actually going to have to talk to the people in my house. Like, what is this? Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's a powerful win. It's like you've got no social media for 2 days. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so powerful. So Sean, thank you so much. They were 3 absolutely wicked action points to take away, super clear. And like I always say, don't try and do all of them at once. Pick one. And I'd say if you're going to choose one, if you're a brand new business owner and you've never worked with clients, you can't obviously get testimonials from anyone. You need clients first to get that. Just start with your email list, start building that, then and playing around with some content. And then start building your testimonials as they come. So yeah, all good stuff. So Sean, what's your freebie, your free amazing resource? Pop it in the chat and tell us a bit more.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So actually, Dave, I'm giving him a free month of consulting. Remember that. But to everybody else, what I would like to do, guys, especially if you are a fitness professional and you are looking to create, market, or scale your online fitness business, I would love to give you a free hour coaching session with me. So what we're going to do, this is not a sales call. This is going to be, make sure that you tell me that you heard me from this event here from Miss Katie. And I want to give you a free hour consulting call on me. Where I want to do a deep dive into your business. I want to find out exactly what's working, what's not working, what your blockers are, give you some actionable items just like this. This was 20 minutes. Hopefully this added value. Imagine what we're going to do in just 1 hour. And for that, guys, the website's down here below in the chat. It's EntreFitCoaching.com. Love to connect with you. And I know we just talked about social media, but I would love to connect with you guys as well on Instagram. You can click that down there. It's just at Sean Garner. Hopefully this added value to you guys. And if it's not for you, a fitness professional, I would love the opportunity to serve them.
Fabulous, Sean. And also I just want to put another thing out to you because I know your son is super cute. So I saw you drying his hair on Instagram when I was finding you on Instagram. If you want to do a reality TV show together with our families in the UK and yours, I'm up for that because you're great on camera as well. So I don't know. I can't think of a name off the top of my head, like Across the Pond or something like Business Across the Pond. We could think about it. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, we could absolutely do it. So that's cool. Amazing. Cool. Sean, thank you so much. Value was awesome. Can't wait to work together more in the future. Have an epic rest of your day. And it's an honor to have you on the show.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys, and have an awesome day.
Take care, Sean. Bye, bye, bye.